Welcome to the Making of Me podcast. Today's guest is Ashish Singh, an award-winning life coach and author who help people navigate anxiety, burnout, and life transition without a toxic positivity. Drawing from his own life experience and a high-functioning professional carrying anxiety, Aki teaches how resilience is built, not by pushing harder, but by slowing down, listening inward, and staying grounded. He is the author of the Northern Light Within, offering practical home strategy and navigating life heavy season. It's really a pleasure having you on the show. Achin,
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
yeah, thank you. So Achin, what challenge shaped you into who you are?
So for me, I think what really drove me to where I am is basically the fact that I was at one time I've also gone through the challenges of anxiety, depression, and there were phases in my life I felt a sense of darkness, and only when you kind of face that sense of darkness do you realize the importance of light. And so for me, when I discovered light out of that darkness, I really made it a point that now I'll make sure that other people, countless people like me who are suffering from anxiety, stress, they feel supported, they feel guided, and that's how I kind of started my life coaching business, and also have written a book very recently, The Northern Light Within, which is talks about navigating life's winters, whether outside or inside.
Be amazing to value light owing to the darkness of actually gone through.
Thank you.
Can you share what your experience was like with anxiety, burnout, how it looked like personally, and what was the tipping point that made you realize something needed to change?
So I remember, during the time when I was suffering from anxiety and burnout, then I would get up in the morning and wouldn't feel like getting out of the bed, and I would be days throughout the week. I would not be, how should I say, I would not feel motivated to do anything. I would feel shallowness of breath. I would feel tired all the time. So there was this time when I felt that if I don't change this, this is going to take, and it had already started showing on my health. So not only my mental health, but when both are related. Once your mental health suffers, it does lead to a problem in your physical health as well. And I was
Yeah.
already going through that, and I felt this is the time. If I don't take care of that, this is going south. And here's one thing I would say, that it all begins when you take a conscious decision of coming out of it. And I took that conscious decision to come out of what I was going through, and I kind of sought help from people, and I came out of it, and now I teach people on how to come out of stress, how to come out of burnout, and how to accept yourself as you are and make yourself better from there.
Wow. Accept who you are and actually make yourself better. Yeah, thank you. That was really lovely. So many people think resilient mean being tough or staying positive no matter what. How does your approach to resilience differs? And why is it just staying positive or sometimes it's harmful?
That's a very good question, actually. We normally confuse positivity with sometimes with toxic positivity, and there's a big difference between toxic positivity and real positivity. Yes, one has to strive to be positive in any circumstance, but it should not be forced upon. It is something which you need to find yourself, and that real positivity comes when you accept all your emotions. If you're forcing positivity during the time you need to cry, you will not succeed. Just when you need to cry, cry. You're feeling angry, that's fine. If you're feeling stressed, that's absolutely fine. The idea is that you should not stay in these emotions for long. You should not accept it. You should feel all these emotions, but don't stay there for long. And that's where the real positivity comes in. So even if you take the most positive person in the world, it is impossible, humanly impossible, for that person to be positive all the time. There'll be moments of weakness. There'll be times he will feel frustrated. There'll be times he or she will feel anxious. But all the positive people, what they've done is that they have mastered the art of coming out of those negative emotions quickly,
Hmm.
or perhaps quicker than a lot of us. So it's very so, and resilience begins when you accept what's happening to you and say, okay, fine, this is happening to me. This is the emotion I'm feeling, and that's absolutely all right, because this is what makes me human. But I will not stay in this emotion for long.
Yeah.
I'll cry if I need to, but I will find a way to smile again. And that's
Yeah.
that's what.
Yeah. Amazing. I think they just speak volume because there's a particular code that make reference of when you accept what it is, what is currently happening. then you can actually, it give you leverage to be able to improve on the outcome you can actually get to see, being that even your heads, your everything around us speak volumes from our inner thoughts, from everything we actually get to think and actually more like get to do. So acceptance is it's really more like a very big step ahead towards this particular and those particular problem, and that's really amazing.
Thank you.
So high functional people often struggle quietly. What pattern have you observed in your work, and what advice do you give to those who feel pressure to keep it all together?
That's a very good question again, and a lot of high powered, high performing individuals in life, they are always, I mean, they're focused on their goal, and they always have, a brilliant setup of things when it comes to the professional side of things. So professionally, they will be very organized. They would know what to do. They would, make plans. They will be strategic about the way they do things, and most of them you will find as people who would definitely take care of their physical health. But often I find that the same rigor, the same strategy, the same planning does not come into their mental health. And that's an aspect I've seen a lot of people ignore. Yes, at best, I've seen some people really be very, how should I say, be careful, if that's a word for about their physical health. But mental health is something which a lot of I've seen people ignore. And I don't see the same rigor and the same attitude coming through in their mental side of things, which is coming through in their professional side. And that's where it is very important for anyone to keep yourself, mentally fit every day.
Mm,
As you plan your day in your life, and as you, for example, you schedule your meetings, you organize your day, you organize who will you meet, when will you meet. Sometimes people do find times for some physical exercise of some kind, but very few times I feel people dedicate some time of their life on their mental health.
mm,
And that is where I think a slip up normally happens, that you don't spend time with yourself. You're spending times with your outer goals, and you're very good at that, and you have figured out a system to do that. But when it comes to the internal goals, internal productivity, that is often ignored for the outer productivity. And there's nothing wrong in being, focused outward, and be productive, and focus on things, organize things. That's very important, no doubt. But you need to bring in the same scientific rigor inside. And that's
yeah,
where, a lot of high performing individuals struggle on the mental side of things, while they do very well on you know the work side. And then that's why sometimes there's a vacuum, and there's tendency to escape things rather than
yeah.
doing things.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. I think it just speaks volume doing that. Or some persons do what they do just to escape, other than sitting with it and being able to kind of figure it out. But it really speaks volume when you make reference of just the way you plan your daily routine. There should be plans to actually more like stay to yourself and being able to figure out some things out personally, and actually more like take care of your mental health. Yeah, that's very lovely. So how can someone navigate a major career personally or life transitioning without rushing to the next version of themselves?
So I think first thing we sometimes ignore is, what do we really want from life? When we
Hmm,
talk about, goals and next phase of life or whatever, we look at things from a very materialistic point of view. Okay, this is what I want. Maybe, people will say, "Oh, I want a house in the next 2 years, 3 years, or I want a car in the next 6 months or whatever." That those goals are great. I mean, they should be there. What are your goals as a human being is something which one should really know. And that's where I think the change begins, when you ask the right questions to yourself. What do I really want in my life? And if you're going through a transition, just accept, as I said before, accept the things where they how they are, where they are. Don't try to fight them. Don't try to resist them, because what has happened has already happened. Right? You cannot still we don't have a time machine that we can go back and change things, right? So it's better that we accept things how they are, and change from a problem mode to a solution mode. Okay, this has happened, but how do I come out of it?
hmm,
Make a plan both for your outside goals and also for your inside goals. So create both outside and inside goals, and make a plan for both, right? Like you make a plan for your life at a corporate, level. Make a plan for your life at a personal level, and follow through. And that's why, my work as a life coach has been about most of the times I'm working with people in follow throughing. For example, people say, "Oh, I will meditate, I will pick up this book, I'll do this." But how often do you do that? For you, a lot of times when you're crossing your task list, you're normally crossing the task list of work,
Yeah.
and you are very diligent about it. But how diligent are you on your personal goals? And that's where the difference is. And so, coming back to the whole transition point, it is very important to very clearly understand your position, where you are, how you got there, take the learnings forward, ignore the rest. What has happened to you, good or bad, is history. Pick up the good, build on it, make a plan, and make sure that you follow through on that plan. And that plan needs to be both personal and professional.
Amazing, amazing. Follow through and shall make sure that they are professional, and it's really, really amazing when I actually get to hear that. So I would love to hear your stories, and how did your own journey through anxiety and burnout shape the way you actually coach others today?
So, for me, I think the tipping point for me was when I was in Toronto, and I had a problem with my back. So I had a physical problem, which led to a professional problem, which was basically I had to quit my job. I was all alone, didn't know anyone, and so I was in a one bedroom apartment, knowing no one, in a new country, in a new city, absolutely having and having no job. The only visit I would have to the outside world would be to a physiotherapy clinic. So I was I was trying to recover physically, but there was a lot of frustration and anxiety because of the fact, and I was blaming everything. Why did this happen to me? I just found a job. Why did this happen? And that was not leading me anywhere. It was just leading me to darker and darker and darker times.
Yeah,
And that's when I decided, okay, what has happened has happened. The back had to go, has gone. The job had to go, has gone. I'm alone. It's a fact. But I can change it. I don't need to make it my permanent reality. It is my current reality, right? So my current reality does not mean that my future reality will be the same. A lot of times we confuse our past and present with future. We kind of look at the future from the same lens, that hey, bad things happen to us in the past, so bad things will happen to us in the future. But that's not how life is. If
yeah,
you make a conscious decision to not repeat the mistakes you have made, and if you decide, no, what has happened, I will now get out of it. The moment you make that conscious decision, trust me, the universe starts helping you in different ways. And the same happened with me. I then decided to, seek services of a life coach. I decided to make a plan for myself mentally and physically, and also from a job point of view. So I worked on all these three plans together, and the result was that I was able to get out of it. Physically, I was able to heal myself. Mentally, I was able to heal myself and also build a professional life. So all that happened because I took a conscious call
mm,
that I need to step out of this. So that's what I keep telling people, that make that conscious call.
yeah. That was really amazing. I think it's the fact that you make the decision and you walk through the plan, because yeah, it just dawned on me that the same energy you take to worry about a whole lot of things that is not worrying about the setback, worrying about the anxiety, worrying about being stuck, and worrying about those particular, the same energy it takes to do that, that same energy could be converted into actually more like bettering things when you get to accept the fact that yes, I'm here now, so what next? What can I
Yeah,
improve? What can we do differently? And
exactly.
just turning it around, the same level of energy could actually more like a whole lot of different, comparing to just being there and casting the blame, and actually more like asking questions that yeah, you know that the answers is not going to come to. So it's really amazing. So if you could leave actually if you could leave more like one last message about resilience and inner calm from our audience, what will it be?
I would definitely say that, which I've been talking about so far with you, that
Yeah.
accept the things they are and make that
Mm,
conscious call to change. Make
mm,
that conscious call today, that whatever has been bothering me has will end today. I will now find a way to it from now.
mm.
Turn your problem statement into a solution statement. I know it sounds very simple, but trust me, it is as simple as that. You decide today that I'm going to change, you will change, and please make a plan for your mental health. The
Yeah.
way you make a plan for your professional health or for your physical health, please make that plan for yourself. Trust me, if you have a calm mind, and this is something which that's the reason why I call my business the calm mind life coaching, is because If you have a calm mind, if you're working towards that, if you're calm during a storm, trust me, you will be always be able to find a solution out of the
Yeah.
storm. You can always get out of the storm because when your mind is calm, your mind is at the sharpest. You are then
Mm,
utilizing your full mental power. If your mind is agitated, you will always struggle to make the right call because that is because a agitated mind will give you, not the most optimized solutions. The most
yeah.
optimized solutions will always come from a calm mind. So make sure that every day you're devoting some time. Take out, start with half an hour to calm yourself, whether it's to meditation, whether it's doing something which you love away from your job. Start those small daily rituals, and the resilience, the peace will come from there. The more calmer you are, the more likely you are to make the right decision in any sphere of your life. So invite calmness in your life on a daily basis.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for actually sharing. I think it's the fact that it got me when you make reference of when you are calm, you are at the sharpest point of your imagination, and yes, a whole lot of the energy is being there, being that you could actually transform a whole lot of things compared to when you're being anxious and when you're thinking about the problem, not thinking about the solution. It was really amazing. Thank
Exactly.
you. Yeah, thank you for your
Thank you
final
so
words.
much.
Yeah. So for my audience who want to connect with you, who want to reach out to you for coaching section two, how can they reach out and where's the best platform to do this?
Sure. So my book is available on Amazon worldwide. The name of the book is The Northern Light Within. So you can go on Amazon and find it there. And you can also reach out to me on the northern light within.com, which is my book's name.com. Or you can also write to me or go to my website, which is thecalmmind.co. So you can go either of the websites, buy the book on Amazon, and I'll love to connect with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Archie. So definitely the
Thank
link
you.
is going to be on the show notes for my audience to easily reach out. Archie, thanks for sharing your thoughtful perspective on resilience, burnouts, and life transition. A
Thank you.
listener can explore more on Archie's work and access his practical resources at the Northern Lights Within.
Thank you.
This has been the Making of Me podcast. Stay grounded, stay curious, and see you in the next episode. And once again, it's really a pleasure and an honor having you on the show, Archie.
Thank you. Pleasure was all mine. Thank you.